Yeah, go that. Don't click that. Yeah. You got it.
Well, welcome everybody. We appear to be live and sort of working. We've
I'll just go and type this.
just turned it on a few minutes early so everybody can get ready. And as you can see from the screen, we are hoping to do a little bit of fundraising, but I realise it's a very difficult time for everybody, so feel free to join for free. But if you're able to do any kind of donation, please can you send it to our Just Giving fundraising page, which there is a picture on the screen. And I've just had a message to say I assume we're not meant to see you. That's perfectly by design. We don't wish to be seen for two reasons. One, I'm 6 weeks into a lockdown without a haircut. And secondly, the camera on our £200 laptop is extremely poor. So apologies for that. I think we'd be better off using the better quality pictures that appear on the screen. So anyway, back to the quiz. There will be 5 rounds. And I just had another message to say I don't have any hair. Thanks. There will be 5 rounds of 10 questions each. What we're proposing to do is to do each round and then give the answers out immediately following each round. That seems to be probably a more sensible way than doing them all at the end, and at least that way we can keep a running total. So we'll leave it for a couple more minutes, let a few people join. It looks like we've got a fair number already, which is great. So I'll speak to you in a few minutes. So just to reiterate, tonight sees the first ever virtual Friends of Louth Playgoers quiz. So this is a big moment. I hope everybody will remember where they were when this is recounted in many years to come as a groundbreaking innovation. But we are trying to do it to raise a little bit of money. So if you are able to just perhaps send us £2 per person, which is the normal entry fee, that will all go to the Riverhead Theatre refurbishment of seats fund, as we're desperately trying to raise some funds to replace the fairly worn out seats in the studio theatre. So that's the mission, but mainly we just want to have a good time. So get a piece of paper and a pen ready, and in a couple of minutes we'll make a start. As I say, there are 5 rounds. Each round has 10 questions, and we've kind of spiced it up a little bit. There's a few rounds that I think everybody will have a fair crack at. Some easy questions, some difficult questions, and of course round 1 starts with a coronavirus round, because I know how much we're all enjoying lockdown, so it's only fair that after 5 or 6 weeks of being in lockdown we know some of the facts behind it. So that will be our first round, and we'll start with that in just 2 minutes. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thanks for bearing with us. The technology seems to be working. It looks like we're ready to do the quiz. As I say, there are 5 rounds. I'll give you the headings for each round now, just as in case you want to mark them on your bit of paper. So round 1 is coronavirus. Round 2 is a picture round. Round 3 is questions all about the month of May. Round 4 is some pantomime related questions, and round 5 is a rhyming round, if I can say it. So let's start with coronavirus round. If everybody's ready, I'll read the questions out twice before moving on to the next one, and as I say, we'll give the answers at the end of each round. So coronavirus round, question 1. The disease was first identified in December of 2019 in Wuhan, but Wuhan is the capital of which Chinese province? So that's the disease was first identified in December of 2019 in Wuhan, but Wuhan is the capital of which Chinese province? Coronavirus question 2. Outside the human body, the virus is easily killed by a household product, bursting its protective bubble. But which is that? So outside the human body, the virus is easily killed by a household product, bursting its protective bubble. But which product is that? Question 3. Leading up to the pandemic, most international health bodies issued guidelines for the wearing of PPE. But what does PPE stand for? So, leading up to the pandemic, most international health bodies issued guidelines for the wearing of PPE. But what does PPE stand for? Question 4. The word quarantine gets its name from, and this is a multiple choice question, A, the number 40, B, the term guarantee, or C, a quarter. So that's the word quarantine gets its name from. Is it A, the number 40, B, the term guarantee, or C, a quarter? Question 5. Who said, if we had thousands of people that just get that I'll start that again. Who said, if we have thousands of people that get better just by, sitting around and even going to work, some of them go to work, but they get better? So who said, I'm not going to say it again, all of that? Question 6. An infectious disease caused by a pathogen that can be transmitted from animals to humans is referred to as being A, hypnotic, B, stenotic, or C, zoonotic. So an infectious disease caused by a pathogen that can be transmitted from animals to humans is referred to as being A, hypnotic, B, stenotic, or C, zoonotic. Question 7, another multiple choice. In March 2020, Deutsche Telekom shared aggregated phone location data with the German federal government agency, the RKI, in order to research and prevent the spread of the virus. But what does RKI stand for? Is it A, the Robert Koch Institute, B, the Robotic Klein Institution, or C, the Riken Keikai Inc.? So that's in March 2020, Deutsche Telekom shared aggregated phone data with the German federal government agency, the RKI, in order to research and prevent the spread of the virus. But what does RKI stand for? Is it A, the Robert Koch Institute, B, the Robotic Klein Institution, or C, the Riken Keikai Inc.? Question 8. The Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, otherwise known as MERS, was first transmitted to humans from which animal? That's the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, known as MERS, was first transmitted to humans from which animal? Question 9. An N95 mask meets the N95 standard of the US National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. What does the 95 refer to in its name? So an N95 mask meets the N95 standard of the US National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, but what does the 95 refer to in its name? Question 10. Robert James Ritchie Sr. initially refused to suspend operations at his Nashville bar after the mayor ordered them to close. How is the bar owner / singer of All Summer Long better known? So that's Robert James Ritchie Sr. initially refused to suspend operations at his Nashville bar after the mayor ordered them to close. But how is the bar owner / singer of All Summer Long better known? And that is your first round completed. So if you want to swap your papers with the other people in the quiz, and we'll go through the answers. I'll just give you a minute to finish thinking about any of those, and also for me to try and work the technology to try and show you the answers. I'm getting a shaking head from my colleague here, so I think what we'll have to do is just read you the answers, and I'll go back to the main coronavirus round. Caption. God, it's seamless this is, isn't it? So, we'll go through the answers.
We could put the questions up and then read them.
I'll do that.
What have you done with number 1?
I've moved it.
Oh.
Bear with me. Okay, question 1. The disease was first identified in Wuhan, but Wuhan is the capital of which Chinese province? The answer is Hubei province. That's Hubei. But don't worry, we won't be giving you extra points for spelling. Hubei province. Question 2. Outside the human body, the virus is easily killed by which household product? It is soap, which is why you're all being told to keep washing your hands. Simple as that. Soap. Question 3. What does PPE stand for? It stands for Personal Protective Equipment. Question 4. The number 40, quarantine, gets its name from I've gone quiet because my answer sheet doesn't give me the answer.
It does. The word quarantine gets its name from A, the number 40.
Thank you very much. That was my helpful assistant, who shall remain nameless for the time being. Question 5. I think we can probably guess who said this sort of incomplete sentence. I'm not going to say it again because I messed it up last time. But of course it is Donald Trump.
Inject yourself with Dettol.
Don't do that. That's health warning.
Sorry. Yeah.
Question 6. So, infectious disease caused by a pathogen is referred to as zoonotic. That's answer C, zoonotic. Question 7. The RKI stands for A, the Robert Koch Institute. Question 8. MERS, and there was a clue in the question here, the Middle East respiratory syndrome that is transmitted to humans from camels. Question 9. The N95 mask, what does the 95 refer to in its name? It filters at least 95% of airborne particles. So as long as you've got a 95% answer, I'm sure that will be acceptable. On question 10, I'd be surprised if anyone got this, but you might remember the song All Summer Long. It was Kid Rock. That's how Robert James Ritchie Sr. is better known. Okay, so we'll move on to the picture round. Now the picture round, simply, I think there's a game show on the telly that does this, simply say what you see. It's as simple as that. So we'll start off with picture 1. So, guess the film. There's a clue sitting on the prow.
Although she ought to have her arms out. Couldn't find that clip art.
Can't get the stats. Question 2. Guess the play. I think you'll have to be quite a fan to get that one, but there are some easier ones too. Question 3. Guess the TV series. Okay, so question 4. Again, it's another TV series to guess. And question 5, guess the animated show. Question 6, can you guess the band? Question 7, guess the singer. Question 8, another singer question. Quite a tricky one that, so I'm just leaving it on a little bit longer. Okay, question 9, guess the film. And finally for this round, question 10, again it's another film to guess. So what I'll do now, I'll add the advice, which you probably heard as a whisper from my helper, is to go through them again very quickly, just so you can have another look. So, picture 1, guess the film. Picture 2, guess the play. Picture 3, guess the TV series. Picture 4, guess the TV series. Picture 5, guess the animated show. Picture 6, oh no, we've missed 6. 6, guess the band. Picture 7, guess the singer. Picture 8, guess the singer. Picture 9, guess the film. And picture 10, guess the film. Okay, so we'll go back and do the answers. So remember to swap your pieces of paper again. And picture 1 is, guess the film, Titanic. Picture 2, this is a hard one, dial M for murder. Picture 3, guess the TV series, Baywatch. Picture 4, Starsky and Hutch. Picture 5, SpongeBob SquarePants. Picture 6, Iron Maiden. Picture 7, Neil Diamond. Picture 8, Aretha Franklin. I thought that was tough. Picture 9, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. And number 10, A Fish Called Wanda. Okay, so our next round are questions all about the month of May. So if everybody's ready, we'll make a start. Question 1. What would be your birthstone if you were born in the month of May? So, what would be your birthstone if you were born in the month of May? Question 2. What did Queen Victoria open in London on the 1st of May 1851? So, what did Queen Victoria open in London on the 1st of May 1851? Question 3. Roger Bannister was the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes, but in May of which year? Now, I think to be generous, we'll allow a year either side. But Roger Bannister was the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes, but in May of which year? No extra point for getting the exact year. We'll just have 1 point for the actual year and the year before or the year after. Question 4. In 1994, which 3 times world champion Formula 1 racer was killed at the San Marino Grand Prix? So in 1994, which 3 times world champion Formula 1 racer was killed at the San Marino Grand Prix? Question 5. In May 1707, the Act of Union joined which 2 kingdoms together? So in May 1707, the Act of Union joined which 2 kingdoms together? Question 6. In May 1960, the Anne Frank Museum opened in which city? That's in May 1960, the Anne Frank Museum opened in which city? Question 7. Which 2 zodiac signs straddle the month of May? So, which 2 zodiac signs straddle the month of May? I'll just give you a few moments to think about that one. Question 8. The month of May was named after the Greek goddess Maya, but what was she goddess of? So the month of May was named after the Greek goddess Maya, but what was she goddess of? Question 9. Spell May in Spanish. Simple as that. Simply spell May in Spanish. And question 10. Theresa May has been MP for which constituency since 1997? So Theresa May has been MP for which constituency since 1997? So there's our 10 May questions. We'll go through the answers again. Question 1. Your birthstone, if you were born in the month of May, would be emerald. Queen Victoria opened the Great Exhibition in London on the 1st of May 1851. start again. Roger Bannister was the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes, but in May of 1954. So we'll allow 1953 and 1955. In 1994, it was Ayrton Senna that was killed at the San Marino Grand Prix. Question 5. The two countries that were joined together in an act of union was Scotland and England. Question 6. The Anne Frank Museum was opened in Amsterdam. Question 7. Again, I think this one was tough. The two zodiac signs that straddle the month of May are Taurus and Gemini. Question 8. Maya was the goddess of fertility. Question 9. Spanish spelling of May is Mayo, M-A-Y-O. And question 10. Theresa May has been MP for Maidenhead since 1997.
We should give them a break to get a drink.
I was just about to do that. That's fabulous. Yes, my ever efficient helper has suggested that at this point we have a break of just a few minutes, so you can fill your glasses, go to the bar, order more drinks, and we'll reconvene in 3 minutes' time. Thanks, folks. So the noises you can hear in the background is my ever-efficient helper preparing me a delicious cup of tea. I hope you're all enjoying a warming or perhaps chilled beverage. The tea bag is currently being dunked. And even in these hard times of lockdown, she's not sharing the tea bag.
Have I like some tea in my tea?
Okay, so as you can see, folks, the next round is the Panto pick round. I'm sure you've had time to read this, but 10 images, not in, I can't speak this evening, 10 images will follow of clues to popular pantomimes. Simply guess the pantos represented.
Hang on, I need to take them.
I'll be with you in a minute. My ever-efficient helper is just making herself a cup of tea now. So, as can be seen, 10 images will follow, clues to popular pantos, simply guess the pantos represented. So I'll make a start with pantomime pick number 1. Look at that, it even moves. So guess the pantomime. Question 2. Question 3. Question 4. Question 5. Question 6. Question 7. Question 8. Question 9. And question 10. So that was your panto round. If you're all ready, I'll whiz through the answers. So,
Do you not want to run through them again?
oh yeah, I suppose that's true. I'll give you a nice, it's a good job my helper's here. I'll give you all the pictures very quickly again. Question 1. Question 2. 3. Question 4. Question 5. Question 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. That was a bit of a whistle-stop round, I understand. Some people are struggling to catch up. I can do them all again. Here they all come again very quickly. Okay, so hopefully you've got all of those, and we can now go straight through with the answers. So, question 1 is, Beauty and the Beast.
He's a very cute beast.
Question 2. Aladdin. Aladdin. I can probably hear the groaning from here. Sleeping Beauty for number 3. Number 4 is Jack and the Beanstalk. Number 5. Kind of a tricky one, but it's actually Peter Pan. Number 6, Mother Goose. Number 7, Dick Whittington. Number 8, Babes in the Wood. Number 9, Puss in Boots. And number 10 is Robinson Crusoe. So for the last round, I will hand over to my reliable, ever reliable assistant to read the questions for the final round.
Thank you. Okay, so round 5 is a rhyming round. So for each one, there's 2 questions, 2 answers, but those answers have to rhyme. So 2 questions, 2 answers, limited time. You need both for a point, but they must rhyme. So on we go. Question 1. The first half, Nicholas II was the last Russian what? Nicholas II was the last Russian what? Then the second half, the name of Simba's evil uncle in The Lion King. The name of Simba's evil uncle in The Lion King. The 2 answers need to rhyme. Nicholas II was the last Russian what? And the name of Simba's evil uncle in The Lion King. Question 2. The first half, a flavouring derived from orchids that comes in a pod. That's a flavouring derived from orchids that comes in a pod. And the second half, the capital of the Philippines. Capital of the Philippines. So 2 rhyming answers to a flavouring derived from orchids that comes in a pod and capital of the Philippines. Question 3. First half, Indian spinach dish. Indian spinach dish. And the second half, the capital of the Czech Republic. The capital of the Czech Republic. So 2 rhyming answers please to Indian spinach dish and capital of the Czech Republic. Question 4. First part, front of a boat. That's the front of a boat. And the second half, a female pig. A female pig. So 2 answers that rhyme to front of a boat and female pig. Question 5. First part, brass instrument. A brass instrument. The second part, Fidel Castro was in charge. Fidel Castro was in charge. So 2 answers that rhyme, a brass instrument and Fidel Castro was in charge. Question 6. Oh, I've put an R there by accident. Sorry, should be a Q. Question 6. First half, your brother's daughter. Your brother's daughter. And the second half, the Parthenon's home. The Parthenon's home. So 2 answers that rhyme to your brother's daughter and the Parthenon's home. Question 7. First part, naval rebellion. A naval rebellion. The second half, critical observation. Critical observation. So 2 answers that rhyme, naval rebellion and critical observation. Question 8. First part, secluded part of a monastery. So that's the secluded part of a monastery. And the second part, an aphrodisiac shellfish. Aphrodisiac shellfish. So 2 answers that rhyme, secluded part of a monastery and aphrodisiac shellfish. Question 9. First part, an apparition. An apparition. Second part, a long sturdy piece of timber stuck in the ground. A long sturdy piece of timber stuck in the ground. So 2 answers that rhyme, an apparition, a long sturdy piece of timber stuck in the ground. And the last question, question 10, to move steadily in a current or stream. To move steadily in a current or stream. The second part, you need this to make bread. You need this to make bread. So 2 answers that rhyme, move steadily in a current or stream, and you need this to make bread. So hopefully you've had time to get those, and we'll go through the answers as soon as I've had a swig of tea. Okie dokie. So, question 1. Nicholas II was the last Russian Tsar, and the name of Simba's evil uncle in The Lion King is Scar. So that's Tsar and Scar. Question 2. A flavouring derived from the orchids that comes in a pod is vanilla, and the capital of the Philippines is Manila. So that's vanilla, Manila. Question 3. Indian spinach dish is sarg, and the capital of the Czech Republic is Prague. So we've got sarg and Prague. Question 4. The front of a boat is prow, and a female pig is sow. So we've got prow and sow. Question 5. Brass instrument is a tuba, and Fidel Castro was in charge in Cuba. So that's tuba and Cuba. Number 6. Your brother's daughter is your niece, and the Parthenon's home is Greece. So we've got niece and Greece. Question 7. A naval rebellion is a mutiny, and critical observation is scrutiny. So we've got mutiny, scrutiny. Question 8. Secluded part of a monastery is a cloister, and an aphrodisiac shellfish is an oyster. So we've got cloister and oyster. Question 9. An apparition is a ghost, and a long sturdy piece of timber stuck in the ground is a post. Ghost and post. Question 10. Move steadily in a current or stream is flow, and you need this to make bread is dough. Flow and dough.
So folks, that is our job done. Apologies if we went a bit quick. It's all very new and it's a very quick learning experience, and it's hard to determine how the teams are doing when we can't see you. So apologies if we went a bit fast. That seems to be the general flavour. But on the assumption that we were to slow down a bit, the big question I suppose is, does everybody want to do this again? Please let us know. Send us an email to the theatre or message us or leave some comments, and we'll have a read and determine whether or not it's a good idea to do it all again. Hopefully next time you might see our faces, but that may not be of benefit. Anyway, as you can see, we've just put a page on just as a final request, if you like, to make a small donation if you've enjoyed it. We fully appreciate times are tough, so don't feel obliged, but as you can imagine, given the current finances of the theatre, literally every penny helps. So thanks very much for taking part. Stay safe, everyone. Have resolve. I know it's hard when I was going to say the weather's nice. Actually, it's been okay today, but I know it's tough when things go on and on for weeks on end, but it's all for a good cause, and as a community I'm sure we're going to come out of this the other side better, stronger, and generally more appreciative of the everyday life we lead. So thanks ever so much for joining in, and all the best.
Bye.
Bye.